So this is. Yep, let me mute this here, and hopefully I have it set up properly. Audio, yes, I believe I do. So this is actually day number 4 in a row that I'm going to be streaming, which is weird. Oh. Okay, so this guy wants me to go meet him, so I guess I'll do that. I'll bring up my YouTube channel so I can monitor the chat. Apparently I was kicked out of everything. Nope, wrong password. There we go. Oh, only 4 subscribers away from 300. Live stream. So we're going to call this just that. Anybody watching yet? Maybe, yes, no, possibly. Nope, nobody watching yet. You guys will be tuning in shortly. Let's see who's all on. Nobody really. What's my eye level? 847. I'm getting there. Yeah, I'm getting there. I have 3 complete missions. Sweet. Artifact stuff? Oh, there's no bonus. That stinks. It's not a bonus. Okay. Make sure there's no actual quests. And there's my first subscriber. Okay, so get me some money. I'll throw him on here too, why not? There we go.
What do you need?
Oh, that should be good. So apparently I need to do some world quests. Oops. So I need... Nope, can't do those. I need to do these guys. So there was actually a topic I wanted to bring up, so I'm going to send you guys the link to where I got the idea to talk about this here. So it was... Oh god. Need a new PC. Was it this one? Yeah, it was this one. So I'm gonna link this here so you guys can see. So that's where I got the idea from. So I kind of want to talk about it. Okay, I was reading a response. So and I'm not. This is not the Here, I'll bring up my screen so you guys can see here. Hold on. There we go. Okay, so this Rain Singer, this is somebody who brought it up. So they went on a little bit, I don't want to say a tangent, but basically some people were trashing Alienware. And they were saying, the hate for Alienware is old and all that stuff. And this is why I want to bring up the topic. It's not, I'm going to say they're right or wrong. I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinion. They're entitled to theirs, I'm entitled to mine, and the other people in the thread are entitled to theirs as well. But what I want to bring up is the comments that people were making were talking about being proprietary. And that's actually a very, very, very valid point. So case in point, a lot of Alienware's designs. So I'll just bring up Alienware here. Their desktops are oftentimes proprietary. So here, I'll move this over. I don't know if you guys will actually see this in a frame or not. No, you won't. Okay. So going over here, these are proprietary designs. They sometimes use like an MATX board. And the issue you run into is like a friend of mine who he's getting his computer fixed up. he has an Asus Republic Gamers computer, and the issue is the board is pretty proprietary, and like even if we want to go and just replace the board, I don't think I can get a board that fits right. Even though it's an MATX board, I couldn't. A lot of things are in like a specific place, so that's like the first problem. The second issue is a lot of times the chassis, even okay, so let's just say they don't support blah 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 whatever, which is obviously a common issue. But what the heck is this guy? No. The front panel connector. So now we're looking at replacing a board and a case. So now minimum we're going to spend $120, $130 to replace everything. Now you replace the motherboard and with something completely different. Now you know the Windows license. So best case scenario came in $35. Now we're $165, $175 deep into fixing one problem, and that's kind of where the where people were coming from on that. So to go and say that it's unfair to say, well, Alienware is not junk. They're not. I mean, they're no different than the old boutique builders, but they're definitely nowhere near as good as like for example, I think Digital Storm makes great products. Origin PC and some of the higher end system builders, your iBuyPower, your CyberPower, they're very budget oriented. They don't have, not the best quality. Some cases they've gotten better, but for a long time they didn't really have the best quality. So it's not about the markup by no means. And I'm gonna do some. Apparently, I have to do some world quests. It's not about the markup by any stretch of the imagination. And okay, so what are these? I need. Okay. So, I'm all for people making money. I make anywhere from $100 to $200 on each computer I sell. Sometimes I break even. If it's a new computer, I generally won't break even. But, I'm not against that if you have a good quality product. Alienware definitely does not make high quality products anymore. They're honestly a lower tier manufacturer. They are. I mean, I'm not gonna. I mean, that is what it is. There's no hiding behind it per se. That's true. So let me go to. Oh wow, that already popped. So that's kind of what fueled that. So cheers to anybody that wants to use a system builder such as Alienware, CyberPower, iBuyPower. They're definitely, not a top tier system builder in my opinion. I'm definitely all about Digital Storm, Origin PC, some of those other system builders in the boutique, and private system builders. I mean, there's a lot of you guys out there that, can build for friends and family. I don't have a problem with building for friends and family for free. I don't charge friends and family anything. If they want to buy me a case of beer, they're more than welcome to, and I'll support the product for life as long as they support the part cost. I got no problem with that. So, that's kind of my take. Back in the day, Alienware used to be like the system, like with Sager, for example. So you had Sager-based laptops. I had one. Exotic PC was involved back then too. Clevo was really big. So the big three were Sager, Clevo, and Alienware. Those were like the really, really high-end laptops more so back then, where they had physical desktop chips and laptops and things of that nature. So now I'm going to bring up Kyle's YouTube channel right here from Bitwit. So
go to Wix.com.
Sorry. This is funny. He did a video today that or yesterday that I thought was pretty hysterical. So I do want to share that with you guys as well. So it's called Cash Grab, an original game by Intel, and it's pretty much mocking Intel's launch of the X299 platform. And it's just for fun. It's not anything that I feel is like it has its merits, it has points, but it's not really like anybody's feelings. It was a joke. It was 100% a joke, and I thought it was pretty funny. So how are you two doing tonight? I'm going to assume that I know at least one of you guys. I'm gonna say it's probably Tom. I think that's his name. I'm bad with names. Get over here. Thank you. That's right, I wanted to mess with talents today. what did I want to go with? Oh yeah. I don't know how I feel about switching that up. I might. Because then I would use slam instead. Let me see how hard slam hits for. Slam's better per rage. Here, I should have those things to switch up talents. Do I? I'm in combat, lovely. Oh, I'll be out of combat in a couple seconds, so. What are you doing? Don't watch my YouTube channel. Hey! Thank you. How dare she listen to my YouTube channel? So that means I just lost somebody since it says only 2. Oh, there we go. So...
we meet again. Now it's just you and me and my God.
Curious what kind of DPS I do here. So, I just switched up talents because now I can clip my Colossus Smash since the default cooldown and the whatchamacallit is the exact same. Thank you. $260, not bad. Really, you guys are gonna take over my stream? And I'm up to 4, which 2 of them are not actually people of relevance. I mean, what? I will ban you. How mad would you be if I banned them? No, you're not. I can most definitely take apart those, take back those rights. Plus, I changed the password to the YouTube channel, so I don't think you know it. Man, I crit hard.
Yeah.
So what are some other interesting things going on in the tech world? Threadripper is going to be coming out soon. I want to say the end of July, so that's going to be interesting. I'm curious to see if Intel makes any adjustments prior to some of their... hey, somebody left. Did one of you two leave?
Nope.
Damn it, that's only you two then.
Well, who's the third one?
I don't know. Well, it's probably Tom if I had to guess. It's always Tom. He always watches. I don't know why I'm not that interesting. So, yeah. What other interesting things do we have going on in the tech world? It's kind of a wait and see. We have Vega. That's hopefully going to be launching pretty soon. So that's going to be fun. What else we have? Tesla's on the horizon, so that's going to be fun. Skylake, Kaby Lake X, which I think are some of the most useless products I've ever seen in my life are coming out. Just the 4 and 8 thread variants. Otherwise, I don't agree with the rest of that statement. I'm really curious to see what kind of development for Ryzen 2 AMD has working on. Because that to me has a fair bit of fair bit of merit because things like clock speed, that was definitely the bane of Ryzen first gen's existence. Execute phase. Wow, 331. I don't think I've ever done that much DPS before. I'm liking this because pretty much I have permanent haste. And, hey!
What?
I will... You did not ask permission for that.
So you know how you had the little blue wrench that comes up next to you? Yeah, you're a mod.
No more mods. Ha 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 ha. I win.
He wants to play around.
You don't know the password for my YouTube channel anymore. I changed it, remember? What you want to bet? It should log you out soon. Damn it. Slut. Oh, I died. Fail.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Live stream.
You know what's good for you, put them back.
I don't know how to add you.
Okay, I'll do it here in a sec.
Actually, I do, but...
No. I'll look, I'll show you the quick way. As soon as live stream. I'll show you.
That?
Now watch. You go into the live chat,
Mm-hmm.
on Shadow Hatch, and moderator.
Such a pain in the butt.
You vote.
Oh, wait, you already re-added yourself.
Uh-huh.
Slut. Should have kicked you out.
You're welcome, Rob. You know,
So, question. Do you guys think I'd get more views if I started to do hashtag show your boobs on camera?
what'd you say? Hashtag what?
Show your boobs?
No.
What? Geeks like boobs. No, we won't do that. Wait, you can retract a message?
Yeah.
Can I retract your face? Sure. Oh, we pulled the boss. I don't think that was intentional. Yeah, hashtag take your shirt off. That works. What's wrong with that? What, you don't want to see my sexy body? No, I'm not stripping on camera. I'm not that desperate. But hey, in 700 more subs, I can start doing super chats. I ended pretty hard. Damn it. Oh, that DPS kind of sucked that fight. Ooh. Let me see if that guy needs that. Who's the one that got that? Wrong. Why do I keep getting shatter relics? Yeah, there's really not a ton going on in the tech world, so anybody that... Oh, hey, there we go. So it's him. Well, I guess him and Tom probably. Cool, grads. Not too bad, not too bad. You'll have to explain to me one day during one of my streams of how to pronounce your name properly. I'm not even going to take a stab at that because I know it's going to get messed up. So. But, yeah, not bad, not bad. Covered, I'm not sure if you heard earlier, covered a couple topics. There was one filled on WoW forums that I did. What the heck? 285,000 artifact power? Bullcrap. So yeah, I covered that. It was about Alienware being an OEM builder. Okay, that's fine. It's funny that name.
Stabby.
Yeah, that name's interesting. I'm not a big book reader. I read a lot of things online, articles, publications, things of that nature, but I don't read a lot of books. And actually, the one book that I did read, called The Giver, main character, one of the main characters has that name, so some relevance. And it's funny, one of the 3 books that I've read in my life, cover to cover, actually was adapted to a movie, so that was pretty cool. So I'm testing out some new, for anybody that's a warrior. I had Fever or Fervor for battle. I moved that to Titanic Might. Here's the reason why I did that. It's not a reference, just made up name. Oh. So for anybody that's a warrior that's watching this, I'm testing it because here's the theory behind it. If pretty much if the buff lasts 12 seconds and the cooldown defaults 12 seconds, I have 100% uptime. Then I can clip the actual buff and basically get the haste buff almost indefinitely, and also get the Mortal Strike buff as much as I can. So usually I have to worry about clipping it, whereas now I can use it pretty much if Mortal Strike's on cooldown, I'm free to use it. So that's why I'm testing that out. And I've always liked Slam. I've never liked using Whirlwind single target. And since I pretty much have the haste buff up most of the time, I've noticed that I'm getting, you know, more consistent rage as well, which is really cool. I wonder if things like critical strike will become more important. That's pretty bad when I'm losing to the tank. 301. I'll take it. Ooh. What kind of? That's an iron artifact. So that's for all 3. I can. Sweet. I can put that for another spec-like protection. So for all you warriors out there, I'm testing that out. I like the combination of these two. I think it makes the rotation so much smoother. Slam also uses up less rage. I think even though Whirlwind does hit a little bit harder, Slam also uses 9 less rage. So I feel like it's just I can almost not have to worry about running out of rage anymore. Oh yeah, Arm's got a lot of changes, so I'm pretty excited with that. So 300,000 burst DPS I'm pretty happy with that. I definitely could use some pointers for protection here in a little bit if you want to help me out with that. Because I'm going to be putting some things in my protection tree here. Pretty much I've given up on Fury. I liked Fury out the gate, but I've always loved to play Arms. Like Fury and Arms have been my, Arms and Protection has always been my 2 builds. And I like the fact that Arms was so good during Cataclysm. Oh, was I amazing at that. Wow, 1.1 million. Never hit that hard before. I know people that deeps more than that, but... feel like I should just spam execute and colossal smash. Colossal smash. Colossal smash. Are you the Hulk? No, just some basic advice. I'm not looking for anything fancy. How much DPS did I do? Oh wow, 579,000. That makes me happy. Sorry. Oh, I could use that helm.
Hey, your video is buffering.
Wow, he already opened up and traded to me. Yeah, the stream looks healthy, so it might be on his end. Let me know if you guys are having trouble with that. I definitely appreciate it. PC laptop tutorial. I definitely appreciate that. Would I like to be famous? Of course. I mean, I kind of feel like I have my own fame in some of the stuff I've done. I really do it because I like helping other people. That's really about what I do. So if I can continue to help people, that's more important than becoming famous. I feel I've always felt, I've had a lot of things happen in my life. So dive into my personal life real quick. My mom was diagnosed about 4 years ago with stage 4 sigma ring cell carcinoma of the colon, which is a very, very deadly cancer. It's almost no success on that realm. So I've been blessed that she's been around this long, and I've dedicated a lot of my time, effort, energy into helping people that I can help. So that's really what it's all about. Being famous is all nice. I mean, I love to be famous just to use money and fame to help more people, but I don't need that to kind of accomplish what I want to do in life. So, that's kind of how I've always looked at it. I love it when I'm in a position where I can help somebody else. That's pretty big for me. Okay. I'm gonna do some artifact, or I need to do some transmog real quick. Go to channel. I'm curious. I'm looking at that person just commented, looking through their page. So they look to be newer. So I wish you all a success. It looks like you're destined to help people out, computer problems tutorials, and the advice that I can give you from my quote-unquote success. I don't want to say that I'm really successful, but I started back up YouTube about 4 months ago, and I had roughly 90 subscribers. I'm up to near 300. I find that to be very successful. I thought to myself, I'm like, hey, maybe I can make some money doing this, and then I realized, like, there's not a lot of money we made in YouTube, unfortunately, but I realized that when I first started YouTube, I made a couple videos to help out a friend, and I like doing some basic stuff, and that I sunk a lot of money into it, trying to say, hey, maybe I should make a career out of it. If I put enough money and effort, I can make money off it. And that's probably true, but I feel like then I'm cheating on a lot of people, because now I'm in it for just the money. I'm not in it for anything else. And that's not kind of why I started out to do YouTube again. That's not why I was relatively successful early on. So my take on that is, if you're doing YouTube to make money or to be successful or this or that, I feel like your audience would kind of realize that, and you may not be able to grow it to the level that you want to. That's I feel like the people that get big are the people that are really passionate about what they do, and they want to share it with other people, and in turn they become popular and famous and make money and stuff like that. So that's my 2 cents. Take it for what it's worth. I'm not a big YouTuber, but I would go to say that's why people like Kyle and Linus and Paul and Jay and all of them, they had a passion for what they did, and then what happened was that they got big enough where they realized that if they keep their passion, they can make something out of it. And that's always been the difficult part, is you don't want to sell out, but you also want to be able to give 100% passion to your audience. So that's my little tidbits for the day, if you will. I want to go do some World Quest if you guys don't mind coming along for the ride.
Hey, and well met. Without you, Azeroth will surely fall.
So apparently I'm doing a scenario. Sure. Yep, there we go, man. So
Champion, your victory
I'm gonna turn this up so I can hear it.
has granted us the key to ending this war. With the pillars of creation, we finally have the power to cut the demons off from our world. Gul'dan failed, and so shall the Legion. Gul'dan was merely their pawn. Until victory is assured, we must remain vigilant. The Legion's true masters have yet to reveal themselves. Among them,
Does that kill Jaden?
monster who hunted my
I feel like that
people
is.
across the stars. Kill Jaden.
Oh, I was right. That was Cal Jaden. I don't know Wild Lore that well, so.
Day I took the fell fire into my veins, I saw my destiny. A grand crusade that would reach the ends of creation. That was the vision you showed me. Our crusade will
Hopefully it's not
prevail.
too loud for you guys.
Everything we have done has been
That's what
by
makes you guys
your
can hear.
design. And all we have
And
to
so I can
show
hear too.
for it is failure. Perhaps you lost sight of our destiny. Perhaps I overestimated your resolve.
Hi, Thomas.
I paid for that destiny with my world. The time has come to see it's done.
That does not look like fun.
Burn it.
Sorry. Maybe that was a little too loud. Okay, I'll turn that back down. Okay, so Gabriel, the follow-up. Yeah, I mean that's. I would go to say, unfortunately, that I was a significantly different person in 2011, 2012. Not to say I was a bad person by any stretch, but you start. Here, let me get this close to my mouth so you guys can hear me. When something like, you can lose somebody that's very important, very close to you, mom, dad, brother, sister, things start to get put in perspective. And you start to realize, we're here not very long in not very long in the grand scheme of things. When you look at the history of the Earth, we're here for 70 to 100 years, and that's a blink of an eye in our history. And to make your mark on your legacy, I feel like your legacy is very important. It's not about what you do, it's what you don't do. Unfortunately, you could do a lot of good, and one bad thing you do, one immoral thing you do, can really just ruin everything that you did. So the idea is that you spend your life being a good person. That's something that I've tried to live by a lot. And I wasn't that way. I didn't have that mindset before my mom got sick. I'll be honest. I was very selfish. I didn't, my political views have changed, and I'm not going to say my political views are right or wrong. I used to be very, very hardcore in one way. Now I follow it more in the middle. I find myself wanting to become more educated before I make an opinion on something, and I always feel like my opinion's generally not swayed by somebody. It's my own doing. But yeah, I'm always right. I know that's pretty much my mentality. Smart aleck. But I've always felt that, or not always. I would say that ever since I've been with my mom being sick and everything like that, give you an idea of some things I do in my life. So every other Tuesday, I get off work to take her for treatment. We do breakfast together, we do lunch together, we spend the day together. I'll be with her for anywhere from 4 hours, minimum probably 6 hours, up to like maybe all day. And it's very important I spend that time with her because granted, it's not fun. She's getting treatment and she's laying in a bed and I'm kind of next to her on the phone or sleeping, trying to catch up on sleep. Just being there, taking I'll remember that, and she'll remember that, when she moves on or I move on, we'll be happy that we did that. The sad part is we were in a much different state back then. Arguments, finance, all that stuff that always plagues families. That becomes so unimportant. You want to be able to pay your bills, but at the same time, your life is so much more important than bills. So I've really dedicated a lot of my life to, if I can help people, if I have the financial means or the time, then I'm going to go on my way to help people. Because when a family comes over, and this is what I love the most, this is why I love what I do. When I see, when a family reaches out to me and say they don't have a lot of money, they want to get their kid a computer, and I happen to have something that's a really good price, and a kid comes over and we fire up his favorite Steam game, and you just see in his eyes he's so happy, and his parents are so happy. That I just love that. I don't get to do that a lot like I used to, but when I've run in those situations where I know that what I do is helping somebody or making somebody happy, that is absolutely what makes it worth just being a tech person, because I can help and give out my expertise to other people. Even people on the forums, you guys came. There's a lot of you guys say, hey, I have questions, and I know that hopefully with my advice and your other research that you're going to get what you want, and that makes me really happy that I'm able to help people out in that regard too. So hope I didn't go too sappy on everybody and I lost all my subs. Shut up, babe. You're judging. Yeah, you.
Head up the hill to the west with the other forces. An Eridar and his underlings guard the point. You know what to do.
Okay, I'll go past this and up the hill, right? That's what they said. To answer your question, Rob, no, I don't want, I want the sound to be okay. That's why I was like, oh, okay, so, go figure. I should probably get out of that and not just take that to the face. Thoughts, opinions? There we go. He did. And I'm just gonna go avoid these two and.
You think a few mortals with gaudy weapons can stop us?
Yep, I say give me 1 second here before I die. Okay, so Air 7 540. I'm actually not for. Is that the replacement to the Air 540? I could definitely pull it up here in a minute to take a look. I'll tell you this: if you're going micro ATX, the Master Case Pro 3, which I did a review on, is a fantastic case. Looks are decent, but functionality is phenomenal. Fractal Design Focus G, again, not too. I haven't done a lot of cases recently. Okay, so and let me know. I'll look at the PC part picker for every United Kingdom. So 100 pounds, I'll definitely take a look. So you're also looking for some with fans too, so that's definitely something to consider. Cases have two main purposes: function and fashion. And I'd definitely be more than happy to take a look at it. Let me kind of finish up this world quest, and I'll pull it up. Oh, here, I'll pull it up. Fractal Design, Focus G. Okay, Fractal Design. Oop, can't spell. Focus G. Let's see what I found here. Okay. So we got two in the front, bottom mount, piece. Okay. So I'll look a tad more into it here in a minute. But yeah, it's all about the function and the fashion. It's a hard choice. I'll be honest, it's a really hard choice. I've been through a lot of cases through my own personal rig, and good temps having no water cooling. Okay. In this day and age, most cases you're gonna find that you're gonna be interested in buying, you're probably not going to have a cooling issue. As long as you do, a minimum 2 intake, 1 exhaust, you'll be okay. That's really kind of what you're looking for. Fractal Design, a lot of good stuff from there. Would recommend a lot of their products. So that's, like I said, I haven't taken a very close look to it, but I would be surprised if it was a bad case. Stuff in iOS issues. Yeah. I remember we were talking about that. I would go to say, so I used the Corsair 460X, and definitely I was not a fan. I mean, my fiance has it on her rig, but it's a nice mid tower, but it's a small mid tower, and I didn't like it because of water cooling capabilities. Okay, so yeah, so if you're really about function, I mean, there's gonna be a lot of cases available. So a couple things we want to look at. We're going to want to look at cable management is going to be key. So cable management, in my regard, is in two categories. The spots in the front where you can route cables through. So is there a lot of room at the bottom and the sides? Is there tie downs? And then also how much room is behind the side panel? So, anywhere from you want at least a half an inch. If you're getting less than half an inch, then it's just not going to be easy to close up the back panel and stuff like that, and it's always a pain. I want to say the case I use is probably somewhere in the ballpark of an inch. It has a lot. So that's why I like it. So another thing you're going to want to definitely consider. What the heck? Another thing you're definitely going to want to consider is height. And what I mean by height is actually more so width, but height of your CPU cooler. So you said I believe you said you're going with the stock cooler, but let's just for a moment say you change your mind and go to the Hyper 212. You need to absolutely make sure that it supports 158 millimeter CPU coolers. Or 159 rather, because if they don't, then something like a Hyper 212 Evo or an AHD 15 or a Dock Rock Pro 3, none of those are going to be compatible. So probably some things we're going to look at here is we want to make sure that we have good room in the back of the case to make sure that cable management's not going to be a pain in the butt. So definitely probably one of the things we're going to want to consider. Another thing we're going to want to consider is ventilation and filters. So you really, really are going to want to have dust filters in the front for your intake and your power supply at the bottom or whatever have you. So that's going to be really important as well. Cable tie downs in the back is definitely nice to have, but it's not been a big requirement because while I do like having good cable management, I'm not as anal about it as some other people are. we're going to want to make sure that it has the proper mounting for everything. So, are you going to use an optical drive? If you are, then you're going to limit your case choices. So I would go to say, get an external, call it a day. How's your SSD mounting? Is it on the back of the motherboard tray? Is there slots for it? Did you mount it before you put the motherboard in? Is it in the front, the top? There's like mine. I don't know where. I don't even remember where I put my SSD. Oh, it's at the bottom here. So most cases will have this by now. However, there are a couple cases where you can't route the CPU connector at the top left corner. So that's going to be something we're just going to double check. So to sum it up, good cable management on the back, good cable management in the front. Make sure you have a lot of holes to go through to route everything. General layout, and just make sure it has all the mounting points that we need. So that's kind of what we're going to want to look for.
Warden, see to the real work while Illidan's demon hunters caper about with their bats.
Enough bickering. Stay focused.
And I'm dead. Pretty confident I'm going to die. I'm really confident. Yeah, I'm dead. So I was pretty confident that I was going to die there. So when looking at the case that you asked about, first question is there power supply and front what's what I'm looking for? Not vents, filters, dust filters. That's definitely something we're going to look at. So if you could, while I'm doing this, find that out for me, because that's immediately going to tell us, is this going to be something that if it doesn't have those, especially, if you're not going to be there to clean it a lot, you're definitely going to want that. Nope, not at all. Not really. To be honest, we're probably talking the increase would be so little, it's just not even worth considering. It really is not worth considering. So we want minimum 2 intake, minimum 1 exhaust. That's really what we're looking for. It's also the quality of the air movement. So what I mean by that is, the fans you use can't just be high airflow if you have dust filters in the front. You want to make sure that we have really good static pressure. Oop. Definitely don't want to be in that. I think I still got in that anyway. Now, one thing to consider, you're using what's called an open air cooler. What that means is that it's actually going to exhaust air back into the case. The reason why that is really important is you really don't want to go the small case. Like a bigger micro ATX is fine, but you don't want to go like small. So I don't know. I think we're going standard at ATX though. Having an optical bay is fine. My only concern was if you wanted to have an optical bay and it didn't have it. that was more so my concern with that. So if it has it and you're okay with that, I mean, that's fine. I honestly, with any of these cases you're looking at, I'm not really concerned about temps. Unless it's listed as an ultra silent case with dampening here and dampening there, I wouldn't be overly worried about it. Like I said, I'll be able to look at a little bit more here once I kind of can shift my focus here. Comes in different colors too.
Yes, come forth. I could use some entertainment.
The warlocks took your world.
I'm not. So one thing you're going to want to show them how to do is use programs like MSI Afterburner, because what you can do is you can set custom fan curves for it to run a fair bit faster as the temperature ramps up. So
I'm out of range.
To be honest, you are to a degree. But that's okay because and correct me if I'm wrong, but if I remember correctly, this is your first time building. And you definitely want to get it right. You're not going to be able to monitor it. And like, I think if you're able to kind of be there all the time, you wouldn't really be so worried about it, But I kind of feel the same way. Like when I have a computer I'm using, I could have blue screens all the time and be like, I'll worry about it later. I'll figure it out later. But if I have a computer mess up once before I sell it, I freak out because I'm not going to be there to make sure it's okay. And my customer may have some issues down the road, and I'm not going to be able to fix them stat. I might have to wait a couple days. So no, you're not going to have to run it at max by any stretch. A couple things you can do. This is actually pretty cool. So I'm going to share this with you in a second. So I'm going to tab out. Finish killing him. Okay. So I have something called EVGA Precision. Now, there's also MSI Afterburner. So you slide these two sliders up, and what it does is, as long as it stays below 92 degrees, it will actually increase the power target by 30%, and it'll increase the clock speed. What you can do is set it to throttle itself, say like 80 degrees. So as soon as it hits 80 degrees, it pulls back some of its power to keep it from not having to worry about overheating. That's actually something that's pretty cool that you can do. So oh, you're shipping it. Okay, let's talk about that for a minute. You cannot ship it with the graphics card installed unless you have proper security, which you don't. Or which you probably don't, if I'm, not overstep my boundaries here. I have shipped many computers, and I stopped shipping because the graphics cards come out of the PCI Express slot and get damaged quite often. So just if you're going to be shipping it, please be like extremely careful. Because honestly, you should remove the graphics card before you ship it. Everything else is fine as long as you screw everything down as secure as you can without over tightening it. But do not ship it with the graphics card in it. It will not end well. I've spent thousands of dollars in shipping damage. Well, more so FedEx has. But
Another foolish mortal wishes to face me? So be it.
how am I supposed to beat this guy? I'm not doing crap for damage to him. So, interesting story. That's why my YouTube channel actually has some subscribers. I actually have a video out there that will show my friend how to install a graphics card, and that's where a lot of my videos kind of came from. So that's what I did. Why do I feel like I'm not gonna be able to?
My time is wasted here.
Oh, okay.
With the power from the two,
I just had to get him to a certain health.
Get ready, champion. I'm pulling you
No. If you're driving it to him, that's fine. If you are actually shipping it via carrier, different story. So all you'd have to do is just, what I do is I wedge it behind the back seat. So I push like the front seat back and kind of wedge it there. It'll be fine. I'm just worried about you actually shipping it when they throw crap around, because stuff gets loose by that. You know you're allowed to talk if you want to Rob. Hey.
Ah, there you are, champion. I was worried I might have activated the bombs a tad prematurely. We have won this day.
Wherever these leaves and supplies are. Sure, we'll go with that. Okay.
Legion's master has yet to play his hand.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't move around much, you should be fine. So question, where are these world quests at? No problem. So I definitely need to do some world quests here. Here, we'll go with that. I don't know, is that a world quest maybe? I don't know. Yeah, but when you said shipping, first thing I'm thinking is UPS or FedEx, and I've had better success with FedEx with covering damage stuff, but it never really ends that well.
Illidan knows them.
In the meantime, though, can you explain to me if, like, this stuff I'm going to, if these are world quests, or is this something else?
Descend upon our
Ooh.
enemy and break their foothold on this
That looks like
planet.
fun.
Leave them no ground to cling to. Show them no quarter.
Unstable nether portal. Feels like that's something I should, like, go to. It is. Yeah, I mean, with the way everything's set up nowadays, I mean, I wouldn't be overly concerned about it like we used to. So, like, what mainly has happened is components have gotten a lot more efficient with their use of electricity. So, long story short, most of the heat comes from basically, I want to say inefficiencies. That's not the proper terminology, but components don't get quite as hot as they used to.
Champion,
Put it that way.
the very land is rotting beneath our feet. Manifestations of decay proliferate at every turn. They must be
Oh, I'm missing a reagent for this, so never mind. Oh, alright. Are you talking about the Fractal Design one? Okay. So apparently what I just did was not a world quest. Can you explain to me what a world quest is while you're talking to me here? I'd appreciate it.
I need to get closer.
So I definitely want to get world quests done. And I'm dead. That's kind of how it was for me too. I didn't really start building until maybe 6 or 7 years ago myself. I don't like what are world quests and how do I do them, because I'm trying to get my shadow artifact unlocked, and part of my warrior campaign is 10 world quests completed, so I don't know what world quests really are. If like what I'm doing right now is that a world quest, that's kind of what I'm getting at. Oh, yep, that's a world quest. Sweet. Figured it out. Nice. Damn it! Wrong button. Okay, so this shouldn't be too hard then. So that one's done. And pretty sure that one's going to be hard to do. Brutalis Slain. Ah. Actually does call it that. Sweet. Okay, so now that before I res, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at this case. Okay, the Focus G. It's an ATX case. Good, good, good. Looks like you have some white LED fans. Vibration dampeners. I mean, that's cool. USB 2 and 3. That's good there. So you're getting 25 millimeters. If my math serves me correctly, 25.4 millimeters is 1 inch. So cable management should be good. That is a lot. Support for high-profile CPU coolers, multiple radiators. I would go to say, just reading what it's offering, this is a good case. As long as it's dust filtered in the front, that I can't tell. But if it has dust filters in the front, it should have on the power supply. Yeah, dust filters in the top, filtered front air intakes. It's probably going to have filters for the power supply, most likely. Yep. Honestly, this case is good. Good power supply depth. It does have good radiator support. Has dust filters everywhere you're going to want it. Supports really long graphics cards. Good cable management room in the back. Plenty of clearance for tall CPU coolers. So I would go to say, if you like the way this case looks, because that's important, I think this is a fantastic case. Now, I actually have one gripe, and this is my gripe. There's no power supply shroud. What that is something to cover the power supply. That's more than that. That's purely for looks. The reason why we like that is because you see less cables, and it just can make it look cleaner. That's purely for looks. There's no problem with it. If you're really good at cable management, or if you want a good task with cable management, you can make it look clean. It just takes a little bit more work. But that looks to be a really, really, really nice case. I would say go get it.
Hey, I think your stream went off.
Why?
Oh, you're good.
Okay.
It's just giving me an error message.
That's fine. That's honestly not an issue. Oh god. This is messing up. Damn it, I hate when it does this.
I need to target some.
There we go. Okay, next world quest. I feel like I'd get my ass kicked if I did this quest, but it's worth a shot, I guess. Who are you talking to? What? Yeah, it looks to be an epic quest, so I'm probably not going to make it, though. Okay, cool, I see what you mean now.
We have a target for you in this area. Be
Oh.
vigilant.
Oh yeah, I'd get my ass kicked.
I can't attack that.
Oh hey, there's a couple people here, not just me. Um, I would honestly invest in a Hyper 212 Evo. I think that would be a good investment for you. 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, it's not a very expensive cooler. So, let's see, is this that's a warlock? Oh, we need a healer. Where did it go? Okay, that's priest. We don't have a healer. Bottom right hand corner of your screen again. Oh. Do do do. Got it. Got it, got it, got it. Perfect. And they just killed him. Damn it. Again. Y'all keep leaving.
You okay over there?
No. Every single time I join a group, he's already dead. Here. Problem solved. D-list. Really? Canceled? Really? All the smaller ones keep getting canceled, which is annoying. There we go. Oh, thank God. Here we go. Why does the phrase E2 Brutus keep popping up in my head? Yes. Oh, that's a lot of people here. Rest in peace, my FPS. Wow. That FPS is garbage. I presume stuff like this is relatively normal. Nope, not allowed, sorry. Hopefully this guy drops something nice other than just that bunch of artifact power.
The land is safer for your actions this day, but stay vigilant. Danger will surely rise again.
Ooh, nice.
There you go, blue baby. Okay.
Sweet. That's the second thing that I've received, so I can leave this group here.
No, just because it's work.
Wait, how come I didn't get credit for that being a world quest?
No. You too.
That was BS. That didn't qualify me for a world quest. Definitely bullcrap. So for those of you that just tuned in, 'cause there's actually a handful of you guys watching, yeah, rest in peace that frame rate there. That world quest killed it. But for those of you that don't know, these are my settings: 1440p, 144 Hz. That's messed up, but IV sync enabled, level 7 settings, 2XA. Pretty much what I run, so. Oh, hey. Guess I can do 2 of these quests in one. Be nice.
Have a target.
5%. So this is what I should do. Round these guys up. Oh, what did I get? Ah, more damage versus demons.
It's too far away. I need to get closer. It's too far away. I'm out of range.
Sweet, I'll be finishing this world quest in no time.
I need a target.
So, for any of you warriors out there, I'm actually testing a new series of talents. Because there's a lot of, I've been doing a lot of reading, and a lot of people are kind of mixed on what's working. A lot of people seem to still like, what's that, Fervor for Battle. But I actually went with Titanic Might with In for the Kill. The rationale behind why I like that setup is basically you have permanent 10% haste boost, and you don't have to worry about clipping your Colossal Smash, since the cooldown and the timing are identical, 12 seconds. So that's pretty cool. I think it makes the rotation a lot cleaner, and you pretty much can spam Slam almost on cooldown, and Slam has better damage per rage in my opinion, while Whirlwind does do a little bit more damage by probably about 15%. It costs 50% more rage. So you figure, literally, if you can Slam consistently more often and basically just spam the heck out of it. Yeah. So just completed. Oh, I haven't turned it in yet, that's why. That's part of my warrior campaign. Let's do this. Come on. Get over here. Sweet. I'm trying to get my shadow artifact unlocked, so I need to get up in the 900 range just because I hate sucking. I hate, I'm so proud with 300,000 DPS, and that's only an LFR, so I'd like to get in the 500,000-600,000 range just so people aren't laughing at me and saying I deserve gear. I mean, I don't, but it is what it is.
I need to get closer.
So if anybody else has any questions about system builds, parts, things of that nature, shoot them my way. It's kind of what I'm doing right now. That's what I do every night, the last couple days. Hey, second work quest completed. Sweet. Out of curiosity, so anybody that has played a warrior or anything like that, after I do these 10 world quests, I presume that I should be pretty close to getting my shadow artifact because I'm almost on my warrior campaign. Maybe. Anyone wants to help me out on that one?
Hero, I had a slight mishap while flying over this area. I dropped some special coins I was going to give to
I need to get closer.
I love the new arms warrior though. I feel like this rotation is so much cleaner and just more fun to play. Oops.
I need a target.
So anybody that's paying attention in the chat, I know Gabriel's AFK. I think Tom's still here too, and I think I have 4 of you guys, because one's my fiance, one's my fiance's friend. So I think I have 4 of you guys watching. You guys have any pet peeves when it comes to like computer building or anything like that? Just out of pure curiosity.
I need to target something first. It's too far away.
My pet peeve is people pushing their own agenda on others. So you know, I'm all for things like, you know, pushing a good product. You know, you really like this particular brand, but when you're telling somebody they should get something over something else, and it's probably, and you're not giving ideally like the best advice, you're just giving it simply because you like this product. That's what I don't like. So, for example, you know, somebody comes up with a computer build, and you say that here, let me get this close to my mouth here, that they shouldn't get product XYZ, they should get this, and you don't have a lot of substance behind it. You're just literally pushing a product or a service or company without any real reason behind it. I don't like that. I don't like when I see that. What's up?
By the way, 6 are all you.
The 6?
Yeah.
Oh. You and Rob aren't watching?
Yeah, Rob's.
Oh. I opened them all. I should probably get off soon. Meh. I'm a clopener. No, you know what a clopener is?
Yes, I do.
Close open. But yeah, so, you know, for example, right now you'll see a lot of Ryzen recommendations on the Linus Tech Tip forums and all that stuff. And most people are recommending in good faith, and I love the platform, but you know, make sure people are recommending based off of the best interest of what the person that's asking, you know, questions about, not just because you're trying to push your own kind of agenda or you know, certain kind of products. So you know, I love EVJ products and I fully support them, and I'll recommend them to anybody. That being said, if somebody says, you know, I like MSI, you know, so, you know, should I get an MSI, blah, 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 I'm going to say, sure. If you like their products, go for it. Now, if there's a legitimate concern with a particular product, a case in point, EVJ had some QC problems, which they did a really good job at addressing and fixing. You know, definitely mention that. But outside of that, you know, if somebody wants a particular product for their own reasons, don't try to talk them out of it just for your own agenda. Let me look this up here. Yeah, I'm looking it up now. Guy asked me a question. It doesn't want to load. Here's my issue. I'm not familiar with that brand. And while it does look really cool, does look nice, I can't give an opinion on it. There's a nice bump out on the back. The cable management looks decent. RGB is nice, but I can't recommend something that I haven't personally used. So that would require you to do additional research. That looks to be something that's more of a product available in the UK, but probably not stateside. That's probably why I haven't seen it. How the hell do I get out of here? Actually, I don't think I want to get out of here anyway. I'll just go this way.
Neptulon has sent one of his greatest champions to aid our cause, and has asked for you by name. I look forward to seeing what damage the two of you can unleash.
This is an interesting quest. I think I'm doing this right. Who are you laughing at over there? Sweet, I think I did it. Yep, that is quest number 4. And I have one more to do. And so I'll just ride there. And then there should be some other ones that you said I can do as well, so I should do that. What are you trying to open? I don't think it's loaded on that computer, babe. When did you install it? Oh. You broke it, maybe? Let's see, any other pet peeves that I have? Okay, so here's a pet peeve. Somebody criticizing somebody else's builder choices based off of, when people aren't really based off of, like, facts. So, you know, more so opinions. So, somebody going with a Ryzen chip over, or KB Lake chip instead of a Ryzen chip but their main game is World of Warcraft. KB Lake performs better. Ryzen's a better overall chip in my opinion, but I really wouldn't chastise anybody for that choice. Or if you go with like a GTX 1060 over an RX 580, you know, that's, I wouldn't get on somebody's case even if they were the same price, because it's not like you made a dire bad decision. You may have made a decision that wasn't really ideal, but by no means was it like, hey, like you wasted your entire money doing this. You may have not bought the most ideal product for the price. But I mean, if you have a preference of, I love EVGA graphics cards and my budget was $250, so I got a GTX 1060. Fantastic. More power to you. RX 580 is a little bit of a better chip, don't get me wrong. FreeSync monitors are more readily cheaper and available, but I'm not going to chastise you for making that decision. Now, that being said, if you make a a really, really boneheaded decision, such as you spent $375 on an RX 580 used, and when you want a game on it, when you can get a GTX 1070 for cheaper, brand new, I'm going to probably say, hey, look, like, I'm thinking you probably, if you can still return it, I would go this route. That would be a situation where it'd be okay to state your opinion, and at the same time, though, I wouldn't really overdo it. I wouldn't, make fun of somebody other than just give them some, hey, if you don't mind taking some advice, this is what I would recommend. What are you doing? Why? You tired? Are you getting tired? You okay to go to bed? You want to come with you? Okay. Why? Do they make a battery case that's thinner? How much are they? I'll make you a deal. I'll let you buy a new phone case, but you can't renew your subscription to Apple. She is staring me down like no tomorrow, people. So, here. Let's do a straw poll. We're going to call this the Waste of Money Straw Poll. So, okay. Is paying to be an Apple developer? Yes. Hey, I have a headache. Beta tester a waste of money? Yes, no, Apple sucks. Share. So I'm gonna put this, and we're gonna check this in a couple days, most likely. But basically, the idea behind this is she has to pay $100 for the year, and she basically becomes an Apple developer. And what that entails is basically she has to pay to be a beta tester, is what it is. Yeah, she can develop apps too. But basically, Apple has two different programs. You can be a beta tester, where you get stuff about 2 weeks after the developers. And the developers basically are beta testers that get the stuff even earlier. Here's the problem. Then she complains to me because her phone doesn't work, because you guys and I work in the cell phone industry. So I think it's a giant waste of money, in my opinion. So here's what's going to happen. Is the straw polls here, and if there is less, why'd you vote? Yeah. So you have yes, no, and Apple sucks. So if you say, if there is less yeses than nos, I will let her do it. But it's up to you guys. And we're going to let this run for a couple days, and we're going to check it. So please, guys, please save me $100. I would appreciate it. Ow! What was that for? She's mean. Your mother. What's up, Crackling Ice? It's been a while. At least a day or two. So, let's talk about how mindless Apple supporters are. I love them. I love to make fun of her for that. What I find incredibly interesting about your average Apple user, and I wouldn't lump her in with an average Apple user by any stretch of the imagination. She's actually probably the preferred Apple user, to be honest. But you know, as you guys know, I work for a cell phone carrier, and the amount of people that come in and get new phones, and I ask them the question why, and I never get a good answer. To be honest, a vast majority of people could easily get by with an iPhone 6 or 5S if the storage and everything met their needs. People will constantly upgrade their iPhone year over year. Oh, nice. Year over year without getting any kind of big tangible improvement. Now, if you go from a 5 to like a 7, there's a pretty big improvement. But to be honest, most people, other than the fact it's a good camera and they want to take a bunch of selfies, they don't need that stuff. And I find it funny how repetitive some of these people are when it comes to that stuff. Good job on the 4.7 gigahertz overclock. Curious, what's your voltage and what's your temperatures looking like there? Oh, nope, not where I want to go. Try this one again. What are you, a pug? The Mophie case, in my opinion, is the best one. It just adds a lot of size to it. I'll be honest, the iPhone 7, the Galaxy S8, and the Pixel pretty much have interchangeably fantastic cameras. So... okay, so 81 degrees Celsius is a little bit warm for my opinion, unless that's during a stress test. 1.838 voltage is probably about as high as you want to go on Sandy Bridge. I went to 1.48 on my 2600K, but I was also at 4.5 gigahertz on air. Don't try to do that. But that was because the ambient temperature was negative 20. So that's the only reason why I went for that. Basically, I know you're looking to upgrade soon, so if you're cool with that, I mean, I don't know what the long-term damage for that would be. It's been a while since I messed with Sandy Bridge, so. Okay.
I dwell in the Shadowlands.
What's up?
You're using all the internet.
I know. So, results. 2 votes yes, 1 vote no, 1 vote Apple sucks. Love you, babe. I like to give her a hard time. It's fun. Ooh.
Might get you back.
Ooh. I'm going to that. Hehehe. Yeah, you get me where it hurts, I know. Oh, I thought you were going to say, oh, never mind, I'll leave that one go.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I know. I complain about money a lot. Wait, you mine bitcoins on CPU? How does that work?
And killing those cute little lunar wing fairy dragons. Well, go on. Save
Well,
them.
I know how it works, but the thing is mining bitcoin... Wait. Oh, you mined out Bitcoin for 2 hours. I was saying, you definitely did not. If you got a Bitcoin in 2 hours, I'm going to... Wait, I already sold my 2,500K I had. I don't know. Down in here, okay.
Though we woke our druids trapped in Sleeper's Barrow, the nightmare now stirs within. Dispatch the foul denizens who taint it.
Yeah, it's not... Oh, okay, that's why you did it. Okay, makes sense. About to say, that is by no means profitable.
I can't attack that target.
It's cool to have regular people that watch this. I'm hoping at some point to get enough where people can donate. I don't know what I would do with that money. I mean, it would definitely finally be a profit for me, and I know a lot of people would be like, hey, you know, you earned it, blah, blah, blah. But what I would actually like to do is get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And what I want to do is I want to have a couple live streams, and I'm going to take all of the money from the live stream. So basically every dollar that Google doesn't take, and I am going to do charity builds. I love doing charity builds. I usually do at least one a year, but the thing is it's usually a bunch of used stuff. So what I want to do, and definitely, you know, if don't be trying to, nobody trying to send me money right now, but what I want to do is if I can do super chats, which is where you donate during the live stream, you know, $10 here, $5 here. I want to do that because it'll probably take me a long time to raise like $500-600, but I want to take all the money that YouTube gets me for that, and I want to put into a brand new computer, and then I'm going to try to find, and I usually have somebody that does it, but is that RGB? It's not. It's LED. It's red LED, not RGB, if I recall. But what I would want to do is build a brand new computer, find a family that could really benefit from it. Basically, a family that has a kid that wants the game, they don't have a lot of money, and I want to give it to them. I haven't done a lot of it's usually like $200 or $300 builds with used parts that I end up you know, doing, which is fine. I mean, people are grateful for that, but I would really like to do a brand new, like, you know, $600, $700, $800 build and give it to somebody, and I'd probably write off my taxes, but you know, that is what it is. I wouldn't even do that because I write off a set amount for charity anyhow, so I wouldn't have to do that. But I would really like to do that. That would be something that I would like to do this year. So if I get to the point where you guys can support me to do that, that would be really, really, really cool. to do that. And then what I'll do is, with the permission of the family, this will be a requirement for the people I give it to, is I do want to film it, and I'll put that on YouTube. So everybody that did donate, and I'll probably do one of those things where I'll write down every single person that donated, $10 or more, $5 more, whatever, and put them in like the thank you. These are the people that did this, and I think that'd be pretty cool. So hopefully you guys agree. If you don't, it's fine. But you guys tend to give me a lot of good feedback, and I think it's helped grow my channel a lot. So willing to take numbers on that one. Yeah, I don't think did I do one last year? I don't know if I did. I don't think I did. I did one the year before, and I felt bad because it was to a family that I knew could really use it, and it was like an Athlon build with like a GTX 750, and something happened during shipping. Something got damaged. It never worked, but they didn't tell me that until 6 months later. I really felt bad, and I said, hey, if they's like, well, we don't have the money to send it back to you. I said, well, I'll send you the money, and they wouldn't do it. So unfortunately, you find that the people who need the help the most are the ones most willing not to accept it, and you can only force it so far. And I definitely have a lot of respect for those people, but it's very frustrating when you try to go out of your way for them and you can't do it. But it's a pride thing. So I'm not saying I'm frustrated with them. I get frustrated with that mentality, and there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, you can't force somebody to take your help. And at the same time, I don't know how I'd feel if somebody went out of the way to help me. Pride's definitely something really important to a lot of people. So. Yeah, I have a lot of parts lying around. I mean, the only problem is I don't have like spare motherboards and processors from every single part. That's the only downside. Come on. Thank you. My dad was the same way though. He didn't buy a lot of new stuff. A lot of stuff were used and stuff like that, which honestly I was fine with. I had absolutely no problems with that. I'm really grateful that I started to do research about 7 years ago on computer parts. I put something together and it had like two HD 5650s, and my dad's like, I don't think those are high-end cards. You always want to go with high-end cards, one high-end rather than two lower-end cards. Ooh, nice, very nice, very nice. Same amount of haste. Nah. A little more haste, lower mastery. So, I definitely I ordered a bunch of stuff, and then I had a GTX 480 that I reused from the previous build, and then I held on that card for a while. That thing ran hot as a toaster though. But yeah, I was definitely very fortunate. I had a dad. My dad's done a ton of charity work, giving a lot of computers away to people, more so basic computers, nothing high end, and I like to kind of continue his hard work and everything. So this one, yes, prismatic slot. I'll have to work on that here. We must be during the Dark Moon Fair. What is that pipe piece? It looks like a pipe almost. Going right above the power supply. You'll have to explain that. I presume that might be front panel connectors, now I think about it. Pretty clean, given what you're working with there. What power supply is that? Does that Can I see by here? No, it's too blurry. That case, though, that must have not been super fun to work with. Was that a Ryzen setup or is that Intel? I feel like you were doing Ryzen for some reason. As I kind of alluded to earlier, it's not really a big deal. You know, it's if you have a couple fans and you have nothing super obstructed, it's not going to make a huge difference one way or another. So.
The Wardens have pledged to bring justice to this world, but we cannot be everywhere. We offer you the honor of taking down a great threat. The land is safer for your actions this day, but stay vigilant. Danger will surely rise again.
That didn't show up on anything, unfortunately. Okay, let me go back here. These world quests are actually pretty cool. I'm missing out on a lot.
The Witch Mother commands it!
Oh, you're not doing the .com. Oh, okay, I got it. I got it. I want to say it's a 1070, correct? Wait, is that your 2500K build? Yeah, you're running in ASRock Extreme Z68.
And killing those cute little lunar wing fairy dragons. Save them.
Yeah. I just didn't catch on to that. That's all. No big deal. Yeah. I figured it out. Don't worry, we're good. It like I said, it just took me a second. That's all. You know, one thing I would like YouTube for me to turn into is this. I love what I do. I don't want to quit my day job by any stretch. I would like it to be a little bit of a revenue stream for me. That would be nice because I could fund more projects. That's kind of like the only one thing that, like, when somebody said, you know, I hope you get famous and all stuff, like, I wouldn't do it for the fame and I don't want to do it for the money, but having another consistent revenue stream would make my life a little bit easier and I could fund more projects. So to say that I don't want to make money off this would be wrong. I I never want this to get to big to the point where I can't do a lot of small interaction with people. I don't want to make it so, I can't answer questions on a daily basis. That's the downside. When people like Linus and JC Sensei get big, they try so hard to stay on the up and up and stay engaged with their community. But when you have like a forum of just one sub part of the forum has 1 million posts, how do you keep up with that? You don't. Let's be honest. You really don't. You try, but oops. Oh, it's a 970, not a 1070. My bad. Right choice, wrong pew. It's my dad would say. Do not touch this bear. I will screw your day up. Gonna be starting another YouTube channel in the next year. It's gonna be centered around corgis though, but I have an unhealthy obsession with corgis. In fact, I have this little guy that stays here, and I actually have a stuffed animal as well. So it's a tiny bit unhealthy. I'm not gonna lie. Like, not quite therapy level, but maybe considering it down the road, maybe. No, I'm just kidding. It's not like that, but there's actually aw, I get a bear cub. Sweet. My ex would not be happy. I've collected all the bears.
I need to get closer.
So I need to free a couple more here. Nope, this is not the way I want to go. You know what's sad? You can pick up used GTX 970s for like $120. Which I find that crazy for how good of a card that is.
It's too far away.
But that's kind of what the resale value. I think a lot that came out, like the RX 580 and 1060, are actually a little bit more powerful, and they, you're going to compare a new card at 250, and that really drove down the prices of used cards. So.
I'm out of
Gotta love those crits.
fairy dragons are
Okay, how many more do I have here that I have to do? What's my warrior campaign? 2 more. So, turn this in, then I'm going to head up that way. Oop. Damn it.
I need to get closer.
That's annoying. So those of you that do so I did that world quest earlier, Brutalis, whatever his name was, and my FPS was a little on the low side. Did you do you guys kind of experience something similar, or no, not so much? Oh, here's some we can talk about. Any of you guys that have had computers for a while. The RS650 was not a bad power supply for its time. I would definitely upgrade it in the near future, but yep, the M12-2 is what I use. I use a 520 watt. I would possibly recommend a 620 watt for my system, even though I don't need it. The power supply thing gets a little loud because it generates a fair bit of heat towards the top of its power limit. So I think ideally I'd probably go to the 620 next time, even though my max output's like 440 from the wall, give or take. So I remember this Temple of Loon. Yeah, I love it because it's flat black cables, which looks nice. It's very. I got mine for like $49. I mean, you can't beat that. And even though it has multiple 12-volt rails, I mean, it's not... It doesn't really make much of a difference, to be honest.
Here there.
Oh, that's how this works. Okay. Okay. Really? How many times do I have to do this? Oh, that one's tough. Thank you. One more, and hopefully I'll be home free. Yeah, so, well, this looks like fun. Let's see. Here, I'll start my own group here. So, buying a overkill power supplies is not a good idea by any stretch. However, buying something that's just a little bit not future-proof, just you want to try to keep your max power load, consistent power load under or right around 80%. So if you're going to be pulling like 450 watts from the wall, you want to be probably between 550 and 600, I would suspect. Wait. I wasn't here for this. That sucked. Now, the only time you want to go a little bit higher is if you're buying a power supply with fanless mode and you want to keep it around 50% or lower. That would be the only exception to the rule, in my opinion. So, for example, if you're and you have to remember something how this works. So if you have a power supply that's exactly 80% efficient from converting 120 volt AC to 12 volt DC, you will actually be drawing roughly 500 watts in the wall and using 400. So what ends up happening is when you actually get your power reading, it's actually going to show up as 4 or 500 watts in the wall. But how much is going in your system will only be 400 watts because you lose 20% in that AC to DC transition. So that is translating heat, power loss, things of that nature. So that's kind of what the whole 80 plus certification is. So when it's 90% efficient, that means you're only losing 10% of your power going from 120 volts down all the way down to 12 volts, which is what your 12 volt rail is. So, okay, time to go. And if you're rocking 230 volts, for some reason it's more efficient. I don't know the reasoning behind that, but that's where things like electricity bills come into effect with mining. You want to have really efficiencies, really high efficiency, so that way you're using almost as much power as you're requiring when you're mining. Because if you're using like a 60% efficient power supply, if your system needs, say, 1200 watts and it's only 60% efficient, I'm not going to do math. We'll say 1800, 2000 watts is how much you're drawing. You're losing 40% of that in just the power conversion. You're wasting so much electricity and money. So that's where the power efficiency is important. Now the cost savings going from 80 plus gold, 80 plus, or all the way to 80 plus bronze or platinum or whatever, honestly not huge in that regard. So a little bit better power savings, but it's not like night and day. You'd be looking at a couple dollars a month if that. Okay, let's see what else I have to do here. Hopefully this will be it, but I don't know for a fact. Okay.
Have you brought valor to these halls?
Oh wait, no, I do have to do this quest. Where is this quest? Is it in an instance? Okay, this is Black Rook Hold. Okay. Let's do this here. Nope. Yeah. Nope. Nope. Yeah, there we go. So for any of you that did not know how power supplies worked in that regard, that's how that works. So if your system's calling for 400 and it's 80% efficient, you're getting, I guess, 500 or 480, however the conversion works in that regard. Rails. So I'm not sure if a lot of people know how the rail system works. So there's 3 rails that you generally use: 3.3 volt, 5 volt, and 12 volt. Pretty much in 2017, most of your components are utilizing the 12 volt. Your GPU, your board, your CPU, things of that nature. Fan headers, I think, actually use the 5 volt on the motherboard, or Molex or something like that. No, Molex is still 12 volt. So that's where the scare used to be, is if you have all these 12 volt rails, systems weren't, or power supplies really weren't set up properly to really allocate the power to exactly where they needed it to. What's free? Explain to me what that is. I'm not sure what that is, so you'll have to explain it to me. So, you know, the EVGA NEX 650 had 4 12 volt rails. That's why it wasn't really a good power supply, because if you didn't hook everything up correctly and you were using SLI, you could actually underpower one of your graphics cards, which wouldn't be ideal. Nowadays, like, Seasonic uses multiple rails, but they actually overload each rail pretty well. So, and they also separate it really well on top of that. So we might overload the rail, and that what that means is each rail can actually, the 12 volt rails are supposed to add up to nowadays almost your full power. So, for example, the M12-2, let me pull that up here. A 650, don't pull up the one you're looking at here. 24 and 24, that's 48. And then take 48 times 12, whatever that comes out to be. 576. So on a 650 watt power supply, most of it goes down that rail. So what power supply manufacturers are doing is making sure that each rail can actually push out 24 amps. So that's definitely the first thing. You take the amps times the voltage, you get the wattage. And what they're doing is they make sure that they're able to deliver 24 amps of power, or whatever, you know, what was that, 24 times 12. 288 watts down like each PCI Express connector. They're generally probably going to have a PCI Express slot, or slots, are going to be able to put on combined 288 watts for a video card, and the other 12 volt rail will probably be split between CPU and peripherals, which is very smart, but they didn't do that for a long time. So I think that's where some of the problem was, is they would actually take like 4 12 volt rails, but the rails wouldn't necessarily put out, or not 20 amp rails, but they wouldn't necessarily be able to put out that much. And they weren't really, 4 rails is just asking for trouble. So that's why the NEX 650 was not recommended. 27 minutes. Ugh. You know what I can do? Here, hold on a second. Specializations, protection. I don't know how to tank, but I'm just going to queue up as a tank. Screw it. Problem solved. I don't even know if this is enough to tank. Would I get my crap kicked in if I tried to tank like this? I probably would. 2,700 health. I feel like I would get wrecked if I did that.
I dwell in the Shadowland.
Hey, now we have the dive again. What I find incredibly interesting is the power shift. So let's look at something here. Let's look at the i7-920 specs. So here, let me pull this up. I'll move this over here since I'm not doing anything interesting at the moment. So 130 watts of power is what the i7-920 put out. That was a 2.66 gigahertz quad-core hyper-threaded. Now, this came out Q4 of 08. Now, graphics cards, so let's go GTX 480 release date. I want to say this is similar. No, so we're looking at 280. So, yeah, same ballpark. So, let's look at the GTX 280 specs. So, I find this quite interesting here. So, if you build a computer in 2008, 2009, you would be putting out... Actually, no, 285 is the car I'm looking for. That's the top-end one. Was it 285 or 280? Might have been the 280. No, there was... Or was it 295? Was that the dual card? That might have been the dual card. Hold on a second. I feel like this was a dual GPU. No, it wasn't. Okay, so this will be your top end card in 2008. So if you take that 289 watts of power and you take the 130 watts of power. So let's bring up our calculator here. This is assuming there's no overclocking involved. So 289 plus 130. So it's stock at full load. You're looking at about 420 just on those two. So 419 plus you can expect about 50 to 60 watts for everything else. So you're looking at 479 watts. Now, let's see when to overclock the CPU. Now, there's a calculation. I'm just going to add, we're going to put around 500 watts. Now, that's how much your system needs. And if you're 80 plus, so you would need a power supply minimum 600 watts. So you would actually probably want 650, 700. Now, let's look at an i7 100. No, better. Much better idea. Let's do this. Let's not even go there. During this session, the maximum output that I have is 79.92 watts. And I'm only overclocked to about 3.8, 3.9 gigahertz. My GPU is not registered wattage. Let me see if I can pull this up here. GPU. Let's bring up GPU Z here. Okay, sensors. Do we have a wattage? That doesn't give me a good idea. Wait. I'm plugged into here. 401. Okay, so now that's going to range between 401 and 440. So while gaming, I am pulling, and we'll say 440. We're going to lose 20, or it's actually really going to be 15%, but so I'm actually using 374 watts while gaming. So I find that really interesting of how much more power efficient things have gotten. We make the joke that Intel has been, only worried about power consumption, and they haven't done much over the last couple of years. I find that true, but at the same time, I think there's not a ton of merit in that. Power efficiency is important, but there's a difference between this is max TDP and realistic power targets too. How much heat is it actually losing versus, is it actually utilizing the power, not just generating a ton of power and not being, efficient with it. So that's kind of been the big thing is process users used to be horribly inefficient. Well, that didn't really help my wait time at all. So I don't want to screw up somebody's night with my horrible tanking. Doo-doo. Perfect. Oh, I need to go transmog, that's right. Oh, I'm getting a message. I got a sticker. Oh. She's in the Shire. Shower. Shire, same thing. And then let's... Nope, not right place. Wait, no, that was right place. What was I thinking? Didn't I say that? There we go.
I am looking forward to our negotiation.
Thinks I can't buy this. Oh, my bad. Trial of style tokens. Oh, that's... Okay, I know what that's about. Not much I can do about it, but I know what that's about. Nah, we don't need that. So... I'm not sure if I'm going to wait this long to do this or not. Black Road. Let me see where this is at. If this will actually tell me... Greater Rinstone. Nope, wrong one. There we go. Greater power, that's what I was looking for. Warrior. So I've already done this one. Capturing the gateway. I think I've done that as well. So I think this should be the last one that I need. That's a Dungeon World quest. What's that for? $865. Sumar. Ooh. Those are some nice ones. I think I might actually go do this one. That's in Sumar. I think I'll go do this, and if this dungeon doesn't pop after I do a couple of these, I might call it a night. But yeah, I'm down to like 5 people, which is fine. I mean, we actually have to 7 or 8 people at one time, so that was pretty cool. Not gonna lie, I enjoy talking to you guys. You guys are a lot of fun to talk to. Any help I can offer, least natural as possible too. I hope I put WoW back up there. That'd be embarrassing if I didn't. This is funny. I'm gonna bring this up. I post this on Facebook. This is where the divorce begins, and yes, I did do this today. Don't ever do that if you're married or plan on getting married. Controlling my fiancés for 3 years now. God, I've been with her for 3 years. Fuck. I've noticed my live streams have gotten... Wait, am I monetizing these? Okay, cool, I am. So I would like to make a little bit of money off of this if at all possible. Okay, I'm gonna kill this guy real quick. Wow, talking about some lucky crits. That was lucky. Okay, keep continuing here.
We have a target for you in this area. Be vigilant.
The Legion landed right on our doorstep, and Ellison simply let them in. Disgusting. Strike itself so hard.
Sweet. And my rest in peace, my frame rate. Since I'm running 150 FPS prior, you notice because I have 100. Actually, you guys may not because I don't think I'm actually streaming in at 60 FPS. God, it's so funny. 40 FPS feels so slow right now. Ooh. I didn't know I was going to get that. And I got a curious coin, whatever that is. It's not the thing with the Blizzard servers. I think it has to do with a couple things. A, I'm using OBS, which is probably not ideal. Because I don't know if I can like split screen and stuff like that. So I definitely think that has a little bit of merit. Again, I mean, I'm curious, like, what kind of frame rate do you get in World Quest? I actually don't have a good answer for that. Okay, so... Okay. Whoops, apparently I wasn't in queue, which is kind of annoying. Oh well.
I need to get closer.
So, oh, here's an interesting topic I can cover. Hyper-threading. So, I feel like a lot of people don't understand hyper-threading and how it actually works. So, I'm not going to, like, say I'm, like, you know, the end-all, be-all, you know, I know everything, but hyper-threading doesn't work like cores. Hyper-threading is actually something a little bit different. So, the basis of it is all hyper-threading is a more efficient scheduling of threads, of programs, executions, things of that nature. So usually there's a delay between when one task is finished and another one starts. The old misconception of hyper-threading was it would split a task in half and run them at the same time. And that's not really all that accurate. What it does is it fills the gaps in the scheduling, so it's basically smart scheduling. So there's no gap between when one thread is finished and the other one starts. So that's actually what hyper-threading really is actually about. It's all about being a lot more efficient with scheduling, so it can actually execute tasks a lot better without any kind of delay or latency. And it's funny because you would think, well, why don't they just make it a lot more efficient, not have to worry about that, and just say, you know, stop being lazy and stop trying to make up for what you're lacking. I don't know. I really couldn't tell you why they just don't have more efficient processors that can literally schedule everything in sequential order without having any delay between start and finish at different frames or whatever have you, whatever it would happen to be, whether it's rendering a scene or computing or rendering a video or whatever have you. So it's pretty interesting. A lot of people think hyper-threading is something completely different, so, and it's really not. All it is hey, between tasks, you don't have to necessarily worry about waiting, a couple, with the 25% downtime, I guess is to say. So I think it comes down to the reason why hyper-threading adds 25% performance in some applications is the uptime and downtime between start and finish of something is 75% uptime, 25% downtime. So basically, hyper-threading, you go up to 100% uptime, essentially. There's no delay between start and finish of different tasks, is where that theory comes from.
The
That's another world quest done. Only because I happen to be there. I feel like I should head back here. Stream's healthy. I think everything at this point is probably good. I think I've been streaming for about 2.5 hours. I think that's about as long as I really should stream in one night. So I think I definitely am gonna head off. I really had a good time tonight, guys. Answering your questions, talking to you guys. Definitely something I really enjoy doing, and I might try to do this multiple times a week. LED strips. I don't around your desk inside a case. LED strips are pretty straightforward from my understanding. You can basically cut them to size. Sometimes they come in certain sizes, and you plug them into either Molex or a 3-pin or something of that nature. So they're not overly hard. It's just not something that I've personally done. So as for putting it on your desk, I don't know where that plug into or how that works necessarily. So. But anyway, guys, I'll try to continue streaming as much as I can. Just constant Q&A, answer questions, watch you play WoW. Oh, there's a spider on the wall I need to get. But I'll do my usual outros. So, oh, come on, thank you. So, thank you guys for tuning in. Definitely appreciate it. Like the video if you liked it. Dislike if you disliked it. That's fine. More conversations in future streams is definitely encouraged. And in the comments section, I'll keep an eye on it. But this is Steve from PC Budget Solutions. And I'll see you guys later on down the road. And I can't edit out this last part.